Hi, Georgia, helping you unlock your team's genius. I wanted to get a little bit personal in this video, and I'll cover it in two actually, because otherwise it will end up being a little bit too long. So this is part one, and what I thought would be useful is for me to share what mental blocks and mental challenges have come up for me and how I managed to overcome them. When I prepared for launching his channel and starting the Power of Threes series that I'll link to through a suggestion card. I had carved out one particular week, 4 working days in that week, and secured it in order to progress on my online course production as well as my YouTube channel video production. And that first day I wanted to focus on the YouTube videos. Now, net gain through that day, I didn't record a single video. So the whole day was pretty much taken up through mental challenges and anxiety and a very unpleasant state of mind and state of being. But over the course of the day, what I managed to do eventually is work through those mental barriers and mental challenges. So the two ones that are my core ones are actually strong irrational beliefs that I have developed over time for quite some time. One of them I've been working on for a lot longer. The other one only recently started to work on. So those two irrational beliefs are that firstly, in everything that I do, I must be 100% competent and correct, and everything has to be truly perfect. And the second one is that whenever I make a significant encounter with another person, I must be accepted by that person, right? So if you let that sink in a little bit and then put it in the context of working on a YouTube channel and putting out videos, that's a bit of an issue to overcome. So certainly was for me. So over the course of the day, I worked through those irrational beliefs. And in this video, I'm going to focus on the perfectionism or utmost competency. And in the other video, I will then go on to the other irrational belief around ubiquitous acceptance out there. Right. So when it comes to what's labeled as perfectionism, one thing I wanted to throw out there is nowadays perfectionism is by some people used as a little bit of a badge of honor in order to describe how well they're paying attention to the quality of their work. And that might be the case, but for some of those people, they're probably not really dealing with the same mental challenges as somebody who is working through what I would describe as clinical perfectionism. So what I'm working through is, or dealing with, is clinical perfectionism. What goes on in the mind is I have an idea, and in my mind I immediately see the ultimate nth version or superb vision of what that could be in the future, blown out of proportion from a grain of sand into the scale of a universe, if you will. And then the mind realizes, oh, actually, right now I don't even have a grain of sand. I have nothing right now, right? But I can already have a sense in my mind of what this future perfect version would be. So then the execution gap overwhelms me, and I am filled with anxiety of, well, how am I supposed to do this? It's completely, it's impossible. But it has to be this way because my mind already makes it real for me. So that is pretty typical for someone with clinical perfectionism. And how we work through that is then to actually so the techniques that I've used is to catch myself doing that and actually remind myself, hold on, what I've set out to do is not that. What I set out to do is this very first step, right? So this, let's consider it a first draft of something that may or may not end up being this big thing in the end. So what's the first draft of this? And if even that becomes overwhelming, well, maybe there's a first draft of that, and so on. So this to those of you who practice Agile product development, this will sound very familiar, and actually my discovering Agile in 2010 was a huge eye-opener and really helped me working through my clinical perfectionism, right? So breaking things down to really small things that in themselves still deliver value, and coming up with a first draft was a huge help. Another thing that really helped is to realize that actually, if I do one of those first drafts and then share it with people and then they let me know what they think about it, I will actually be able to increase the quality of my output, right? Because everything that I do in my mind only has one brain working on it, and it would be ridiculous to assume that if I had more feedback from other people who see things that I don't see, that I couldn't reach a better quality. So actually, by doing that, I will get a more perfect product in the end, or output in the end. So that was also that's also quite a helpful technique. The third thing that I used to help myself work through this mental challenge with clinical perfectionism is to actually sidestep it and follow the same process, but related to something that my mind hasn't attached all this importance to. So I want to share these videos because I want to help you and other viewers in the work that you do on your own or in your teams at work, and that's very important to me. I really care about that. So that has a high degree of importance associated with it. So what I looked at is then the simple process, very stripped back without all the meaning associated with it. So think of something that might be valuable to people, script out the video, record the video, edit the video, and then share it, right? So this very basic generic process. And I used that with something that I have not associated as much meaning with, and I actually created running related videos. Running is my favorite pastime. I care about it a lot, but I don't have the same kind of meaning and belief associated with it. So that helped me to break through that as well. So those are the three key things that were very helpful for me. And I'll cover the other irrational belief in a follow-up video in the future, and we'll link to it from this video here as well. So when it's available at the time you watch this, I will link to it up here, and then you can see the whole story. So hopefully what you've learned today has already proven useful to you. If if anything in there was useful, please hit the like button to get up to date on this follow-up video to this or any other video on the channel. Please hit the subscribe button. If you've got any thoughts, reactions that you'd like to share, or ideas for future videos, please share them in the comments. And until next time, I wish you all the best for your work on your life or work. And until next time, thank you much. Bye bye.